Hello everybody and welcome back to today's 1 Hour of Power! That's right, we're filming today live on Thursday, April 9th, and it is a day known in the church as Maundy Thursday. And that's a fancy term that just means the day we celebrate when Jesus had the Last Supper with his disciples. So today, some of our themes and the puppet skit is going to be about that. So we're going to start out with a couple songs. And the first song we're going to sing is a fun, goofy one called Mercy is Falling. Now, if you've been stuck inside a lot recently, this is going to be a great song to get out some of that energy. So it has some actions. So repeat after me.
After me.
Mercy is falling, is falling, is falling.
Mercy is falling, is falling, is falling.
Mercy, it falls like the sweet spring rain.
Mercy, it falls like the sweet spring rain.
Mercy is falling all over me.
Mercy is falling all over me.
And you, and you, and you, and you.
And you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you.
And then you go, hey-o.
Hey-o.
I receive your mercy.
I receive your mercy.
Hey-o.
Hey-o.
I receive your grace.
I receive your grace.
Hey-o.
Hey-o.
I'll dance forevermore.
I'll dance forevermore.
You got it.
You got it. Supper, Jesus talked to his disciples about a lot of things, but one of the biggest things that he talked about was love. He told them to love one another and to love God. And so we're going to sing this song called Love the Lord, and it has some actions, so repeat after me.
After me.
Love the Lord your God.
Love the Lord your God.
With all your heart.
With all your heart.
With all your soul.
With all your soul.
With all your mind.
With all your mind.
With all your strength.
With all your strength.
Yeah.
Strength.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll keep going. That's about the main actions. Every time we do heart, soul, mind, or strength, those are the actions you do. That's right. And then there's a part in the song where you echo after me a little bit later, but we'll get to that. Your
Woo! Good singing, you guys. You can have a seat. That'll really get your heart rate going. All right, well, it's time where I get to tell you a little story about when Jesus had supper with his friends. On the night of Passover, Jesus and his disciples met in an upper room. Jesus wrapped a towel around his waist. Then he washed his disciples' feet. "I served you by washing your feet," said Jesus. "You also must serve others." During the meal, Jesus took bread. He said a prayer of thanks. He broke the bread and gave it to his disciples. "This is my body," Jesus said. "My body will be broken for you. Then I want you to break bread together and remember me." Jesus took a cup. He said a prayer of thanks and gave the cup to his disciples. "This cup is a new promise," he said. "When I die, my blood will be poured out for you. Then I want you to drink the cup together and remember me." Jesus and the disciples sang a hymn together before they left the upper room. And now it's time for a skit.
Whoop, whoop, skit. Whoop, whoop, skit. Whoop, whoop, skit. Whoop, whoop, skit. Whoop, whoop, skit. Welcome back to the Noon O'Clock News. I'm your host, Oswald Denswald. And we are back with this segment at the Noon O'Clock News called Eyewitness, where we take first-hand account witnesses to the people who have been there through Jesus' whole life, his death, his resurrection, and his birth, not quite in that order. Today we have a different guest. We have the guest who was there firsthand when Jesus and his disciples had their last supper. They were there right there. So please help me welcome Miriam.
Hello.
Hey Miriam, your encounter with Jesus was at a very critical time. Can you tell us more?
Well, sure. Well, just a few days before I met Jesus, he had come riding into town on a donkey, the one you had on your show earlier.
Yep.
We all saw him and wondered what he would do. Well, just a few days later, we were making preparations for the celebration of the Passover.
The Passover? What's that?
It's one of the most special celebrations for all Jewish people to remember when God freed us from slavery in Egypt. It is a meal where every item helps to tell a different part of the story. The bread, the wine, the herbs, everything. But as we were preparing for this Passover, two of the disciples approached my husband and asked if they could celebrate Passover in our upper room. Of course we said yes.
So, Jesus had supper in your house. What's so special about that?
Well, not much if it had been an ordinary meal, but this was different. I had been asked to stay nearby in case they needed anything else. So I overheard Jesus talking to his disciples. They weren't just talking about sports and the weather. Have you ever had one of your family members pass away and you got to be with them just before? The words they share are important.
Well, now that you mention it, my grandma did pass away a few years ago, and I was able to see her before she left. And when I was there, she knew it was kind of that time, and so she shared a lot of things that were important to her with me. It was very special.
Exactly. I got the feeling that Jesus knew he didn't have much time left. So he was telling his disciples some really important things, like love one another so everyone will know you are my disciples, and stay connected to me so you can experience full life and fruitful ministry. And life in this world can be hard, but have courage, for I have overcome the world. He also talked about how the bread that they were eating would be like his body, broken for everyone. And the cup of wine they drank would be like his blood, shed for the forgiveness of sins. It didn't all make sense to me, but I could tell he thought this would be his last supper with his friends.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Miriam. And those words from Jesus really were inspiring, encouraging, and special. Well, that's all the time we have today for Eyewitness. I've been your host, Oswald the Denswald, and this definitely ended well. We'll see you next time.
Does anybody know what time it is?
Thiever's time!
That's right!
All right, we're gonna do it for you once. So we'll teach it to you, and then we'll do it all together. Ready? Do 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 to Jesus. Do 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 to Jesus. You make known to me the path of life. You fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. Psalm 16, verse 11. Grab your Bibles, let's go! Jump in! Jesus leads the way. Hey, hey! All right, you're gonna repeat after me.
After me.
Do 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 to Jesus.
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 You make known to me
You make known to me
the path of life.
the path of life.
You fill me with joy
You fill me with joy
in your presence,
in your presence,
with eternal pleasures
with eternal pleasures
at your right hand.
at your right hand.
Psalm 16,
Psalm 16,
verse 11.
verse 11.
Grab your Bibles.
Grab your Bible.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Jump in.
Jump in.
Jesus leads the way.
Jesus leads the way.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
All right.
Theme verse
Time. Woo. Theme verse time. Woo. Do 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 to Jesus. Do 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 to Jesus. You make known to me the path of life. You fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. Psalm 16, verse 11. Grab your Bibles, let's go! Jump in! Jesus leads the way. Hey, hey! One more time! Woo! One more time! Woo! Do 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 to Jesus. Do 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 to Jesus. You make known to me the path of life. You fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. Psalm 16, verse 11. Grab your Bibles, let's go! Jump in! Jesus leads the way. Hey, hey!
Hey guys, did you know that it's actually Maundy Thursday, not Monday Thursday? Oh, you did know that? Oh. Okay, well, did you know that the word Maundy actually comes from the word mandatum, which means commandment. And that refers to the time when Jesus was in the upper room having his last supper with his disciples, and he commanded them to love each other as he had loved them. I did not know that word.
All right, so today's shake break game is going to be online, a red light, green light. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have my back turned. Well, I guess my back turned to these guys, and I'll have my eyes closed, and I will say red light, green light. Now, if I say green light, you're going to slow motion, or maybe just walk your way up to maybe the table that your phone or computer's on, or maybe something, another object that's nearby that you guys can try to get to and touch first. Now, the cool thing is that I might say red light at any certain time. So if you're stuck like this and you fall over, then you gotta start at the beginning again and start back there, okay?
That's not cool.
I know. So, you guys ready? All right. I have my eyes closed. Let's see which one of these guys can get there first. All right. And you guys can challenge yourselves too. So we'll go red or green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Gotta be
All right.
in front of a camera.
Green light. Red light. Green light. Red light. Green light. Awesome. All right. So, and you guys can play this anytime you guys want to play this. But now we're gonna work your funny bones with Evan for some holy humor.
Who was the best comedian in the Bible? Samson, because he brought the house down. Get it? It was because he was really fun.
I don't get it. Alright, our game of the day today is hula hoop egg toss. Easter egg toss. You're gonna take some Easter eggs and you can put stuff in it. It's not gonna make a mess or not. You're gonna take some hula hoops or anything that's like a hula hoop size, maybe a couple baskets, whatever. And you're gonna associate different point levels to them based on how hard it would be to get into it. So further away, it'd be more points. Closer, it'd be less points. You can do 1 point, 5 points, 10 points, 15 points, whatever you feel. And then you're gonna find a line, make a line, and you're gonna toss the eggs into that and see how many, you can start with 10 Easter eggs each, see how many points you can rack up and try and beat your points.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, well, we are nearing the end of our time here and launching you into a time after this if you want. And just a reminder of all the things you can do. Right after this, I encourage you to use the conversation starter questions that are posted in the description. We also posted a link to a lot of the things we did in our show today. So the theme verse, there's actually a video on YouTube of our summer counselors doing this theme verse so you can remember it. We also have links to the game of the day idea with the Easter egg toss. And yes, and the songs that we sang earlier. So if you want to sing them again later, you can look back at them. So those are some of the things that we have for you today. We hope that you have a fantastic day. Thanks again for joining us for one more 1 hour of power. Yeah. Now, before we leave, I need to remind you that tomorrow is Good Friday. And we won't be live, but we will have 1 hour of power. We're going to post it at 2 o'clock tomorrow so that you can still have 1 hour of power tomorrow on Friday at 2 o'clock, same time, or you can watch it anytime later. So with that being said, have a fantastic day. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.